It's your girl, Ellie, but not necessarily girly.
Today I'm going to be making an Ikumi, aka Meet General cosplay from Food Wars. I am letting you guys know that I normally do take bits and pieces of things I find online, and then I actually make modifications. It just makes it a lot easier than hand sewing everything because I am a university student. Not because I also really suck at threading a bobbin for a sewing machine. Just letting you know that any of the products I'm going to be using in this video will be linked down below as well. For this one, I did not film a lot of my face. I was kind of not really thinking about it. So it's going to be more so my process and what I did to achieve my final look. Which, by the way, at the very end, stick around. There is some bonus content of my questionable mukbang I did. Anyways, I want to let you guys know how difficult it was to find certain pieces for this cosplay. I took this knife holster. I had to cut it. I, for some reason, thought it was a great idea to spray paint it. Let me tell ya, it was not a good idea. Like, seriously, it barely held. I would have chosen a fabric instead, but for a quick fix, honestly, it did the job. I was a little bit sad because I wanted it to also spray paint the straps, but it looked like the paint was not holding, so. I also was using a fake knife. It's made of plastic, which I thought was funny because I was getting flagged on all my social media for dangerous acts and activities, and I was like, bruh, it is fake. But that just means I did a good job, you know? Clap, 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 clap. I'm really sad about it though, because yeah, I didn't expect that to happen. I am super excited to also tell you guys that I'm gonna be heading to Japan in 2 weeks. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm mostly scared though because I'm going on a solo trip. So that's gonna be interesting. My itinerary is already way too full. I'm telling you right now, like, my introvert is screaming. My weeb in the world inner child is jumping for joy. I ended up actually finding this love hotel that's like dessert themed and totally going there by myself. Feels bad, man, but like I'm going there and I'm gonna take some pics. It's gonna be so cute. And of course, I found, unfortunately, what seems to be the only Law from One Piece statue in Japan. I scoured the internet and thankfully I did find him. So he's in, I think it was called Yokohama. So it's about like an hour or two away from Tokyo, but I'm making that trip, let me tell you, because I need to go see my husband and I need to publicly humiliate myself by kissing him. You guys are like, please, can you stop? Yes, sorry. Anyways, I'm gonna post that on my socials in a few weeks, just so you know what's going on. Also, with this skirt, it was low-key a nightmare because I realized it was too long, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a modification, but here's the deal. When you cut things, you usually have to hem them. And I was like, I ain't having any of that. I'm just gonna hot glue it. So I reversed it inside out, and I called it a gosh dang day. I just folded up the edges, and it basically worked. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I would wear this cosplay out in public, just because like my 𝐵𝒂𝒄𝒄 unfortunately was popping out a little bit more than I liked. With this wig, it was a godsend. It was actually pretty good when it came. All I wanted to do was just like soften it up a little bit, so I did use a steamer just to make it like not as poofy in certain areas, and it worked out pretty good. I will say that like I had to do very minimal cutting, so if somebody ever sees this video and wants to do this cosplay, I highly recommend getting the wig from Shein. It was such a good deal and it was a pretty good find. I like, not even joking, barely anything I had to do, just like a bit of teasing, a little shaping, that's basically it. did do a little bit of stuff off camera just because, like I said, like I wasn't really planning on filming this and I like kind of forgot, so I'm really sorry. But I literally only trimmed maybe a quarter inch off of like the very ends before I even started. Anyways, I'm gonna let you watch in silence. Enjoy those good lo-fi vibes for a bit. For this part, I struggled with her alfalfa. I think it's called a yogi or something in Japanese. Let me know in the comments down below if you know what it's called. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. I'm very afraid to go to Japan because my Japanese is so bad. I've been watching anime for 17 years and all I can say is arigatou gozaimasu, hontou desu ka, so ka, ara. I'm just joking. No, I know probably like 10 more things. That's about it. So it's gonna be interesting trying to converse in Japanese. Anyways, this alfalfa gave me a time and a half. I should have used a wire. I had to hot glue it as like a base and then I attached it. It did not work. I really wish I would have had some fabric stiffener. That might have helped as well. I know I'm not a huge fan of using wires, but I know like a lot of people do. I probably should have. In hindsight, I'll probably do something like this in the future. In addition to my struggling, I also had her red collar. I ended up doing this off camera because it was so difficult. There was a little red ring on it and I had to take clamps and try to like break it apart. So I used a hammer, I used pliers. It was extremely difficult, but I somehow managed to take off the huge metal ring just because I didn't want it to be like so clunky. Like I said, like I do modifications to the things that I get and see if I can make them work a little bit better. So there were a few parts that I definitely struggled with, but for the most part, like this was one of my easier cosplays. Most of the stuff I could buy online. I didn't have to do very many changes or modifications, so it was pretty easy. If you're ever going to do a cosplay, it has been the easiest cosplay I've done so far. Besides the alfalfa. Ayoki! And I also got a new camera. It's the Osmo Pocket 3. I'm very grateful. I had someone give it to me for my birthday, so hopefully I can shoot more content with it. It looks great. It's a little bit difficult to use, but it's fantastic. I've been using it for this entire video. Also, I haven't been watching that much anime just because I have been planning for my Japan trip. And I know I said my itinerary is full, but I'd love to check out other places if you have a recommendation. And here's the final look.
Basically, we're gonna see how long I can last eating this delicious food while holding a bear. I'm scared. We've got some spicy chicken. This is like some soy sauce chicken. It's all fried and original. We got some coleslaw and some rice on the side. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to eat all this.